Hi, welcome to our channel. Today our topic is about file permissions. File permissions are used to control access to files and directories. Here, we're gonna need some basic knowledge of the following. Number 1, chmod command. This command is used to change file permissions. Number 2, chown command. chown command is used to change file ownership. Number 3, echo command, which is used to display line of text. Here, we will apply this in our scripts. Number 4, mkdir, which is used to create directories. Number 5, the touch command. We're going to use this to create empty files. And number 6, we need to be familiar with creating scripts. Now let's move on to the demonstration. But first, some basic things to remember. For file permissions, we need to understand some nomenclatures used. Here, number 1, R stands for read with a value of 4. W stands for write with a value of 2. And X is execute with a value of 1. Also, we need to be familiar with the basic entities, the owner, the group, and others. Putting these two together here at number 3, for the owner, it can be given read, write, and execute permissions, same as with the group, and same with others. Now, permissions are set based on preferences or the need. Possible variations are, if you're going to give, for example, the owner the read, write, and execute permission, it will translate to 4 plus 2 plus 1, the numerical equivalent of R, which I mentioned a while ago, or the numerical value of W, 2, and X, 1. So if you're going to give, for example, the owner a read, write, and execute permission, it would translate to 4 for R, 2 for W, and 1 for execute. Sum it all up and it's equal to 7. So for example, if the owner, the group, and others will be given full access to the file or directory, the permission would translate to 7, 7, and 7. The summation of each permission. However, if you're going to give it only 6, or if you're going to give it, for example, if you're going to give the owner of the file read and write, which is also equivalent to 4 plus 2, 4 for read, 2 for write. So if you sum it up, it will be 6. So on and so forth till you reach 0, which means no permission at all, whether it be read, write, or execute. 0 is commonly given to others and sometimes to the group. So to understand it better, let's move to the next. So here are some basic patterns to remember. For number 1, for the chmod command, which is used to change the permission of files and directories. Here I have listed 3 common patterns that I normally use at work. The first usually is the basic chmod space and then 3 numbers space and then the path to the file that I'll be altering the permission. These 3 numbers are the summation of each entities. For the first one, it is the owner. Summation of the permission of the owner. For the second, it's the summation of the permissions given to the group. The third, for others. So to demonstrate this, let's go to this example. We'll start by creating another user. A user that we will consider others. And let's name it someone. Also, we will give Bill, our non-sudo user, the permission to execute the chown command, which will be tackled on the second part of this demonstration. But while on this sudo user account, we can do this too for now. So let's open up a terminal and let's create a new user. Here I use the command sudo user add and then the name of the new user -s so that it will give it a bash shell. Let's enter the password. And now user someone is created. Let's give it a password. Let's make it simple for the demonstration. Okay, now we're done with the new user. Let's move on to giving our non-sudo user, which is Bill, the permission to execute chown as a sudo user. And to do that, let's clear the screen. Sudo vsudo -f/etc sudoers. Press enter. Now that we're inside the file, let's go to this part. To make things organized, let's create a command alias. Tab and then let's name this alias as perm for permission. Now let's open up a new terminal and then let's use the command which to know the location of chown. Now which, let's try chmod. Okay, now that we know the file locations of these two commands, let's put it here. Now that we're done with that, let's go to this line and let's add perm to it. For this demonstration, we will temporarily give Bill the permission to execute these two commands. So for temporarily giving ourselves convenience. Now that we have added this alias here, giving Bill permission to execute these two commands, we can now save it. Control O, then enter. Control X, and then we're done. So now that we're done, we can now log off from this account. As you can see, there's another user here now, which is someone. But we will use our non-sudo user Bill for the demonstration. Okay, let's open up a terminal. Since we're done with number 1, let's move on to number 2. Inside the home folder of Bill, let's create a bin directory. So, inside this home directory of Bill, since we don't have a bin directory here, let's create one by using mkdir command. Let's enter. And now we have our bin folder. Next, let's go inside the bin folder. As you can see, bin folder is new and empty. Now let's create files inside it. Reminders.sh, forget.sh, to-do list.sh. Now to do this, you can use the touch command. We can do this one at a time, but for convenience, we can do them all at once. Like this. Let's press enter. And all 3 files are now created. All 3 empty files. Now, let's move on to the 5th step. Let's try to create a simple script. Using nano, let's write these lines to reminder.sh. nano. FYI, this is just a simple script. So, pound, exclamation mark, then bash. Then echo, eat, rest, work, play, study, but in my high school, where I came from, in high school, it is eat, rest, play, but do not sin. Here, let's just do it that way. Now, for the next line, let's just copy what's written in our yellow pad. Okay, we're done. A while ago, I mentioned that echo is a command used to display lines of text. The first line is a simple way of using echo, and the second line is an example of a formatted text using echo, but we'll see later. So now that we're done, let's try to save our file by typing Control and then O, press enter, and then Control X to exit the file when using nano, just to demonstrate briefly how echo works. Let's try to do it directly on the terminal. It's what we're taught in high school. Plainly, it printed this line. Now let's try the second one. Echo minus E five semicolon 31 M don't forget me. Now let's try this one. Now try to notice that it was able to print the line, but it was blinking. So it was done through this number 5, which means make it blink. Now 31 is the color code for red. I'll just make a detailed discussion of this on a separate video, but normally I use this for some of my complicated scripts. But for now, let's focus on our topic, which is permissions. So now that you know how it will look like after we execute this script, let's move on to number 6. Let's change the permission of reminder.sh to 700, or u is equal to rwx. FYI, U stands for the user, equals giving it the read write execute. It is just the same with this 700. Why? Because the first number is the summation of the permissions given to the user, while the second one is given to the group, and for others, the third. So if you're going to give the user the read write execute, it would translate to 4 plus 2 plus 1. Sum it all up and it will be 7. So using the first pattern that I have provided a while ago, chmod, and then substitute 700 here and then the path to the file here, then as expected it will change the permission of the file. So what's the original permission of the file reminder.sh? Here it is. Here, this portion simply means read-write permission for the owner of the file without the execute permission. So these three will go together, giving the owner the description of its permission, and these three will describe the permission for the group, and these three will describe the permission for others. So if we will analyze the permission for the owner, it says read and write but without execution. Same goes with the group, read, write but without execution. For others, it would only be read without a way of writing onto the file and without a way to execute it. So before changing it to 700, which is giving it a RWX permission, let's try to execute this file if it will run. And to run a script, we do it this way. Reminder.sh. So a dot and a slash and then the file name. Let's try to execute it, and as expected, permission denied because it doesn't have any. Although Bill is the owner of the file, the permission is not to execute the file. There's no permission to execute the file. So let's try to change it. Giving it a number 7 on the owner. This should be RWX. Using chmod command. Press enter and then let's type ls-la. Now, here it is. Let's clear the screen and repeat. Okay. Now, the new permission of the owner is to read, write, and execute, which is 4 plus 2 plus 1 equals to 7, while giving none to the group, none for others. Now, since this account belongs to Bill, let's try to execute the script. And there it is. Bill was able to execute reminder.sh. If we're going to use this pattern here, chmod u minus rwx reminder.sh, it would have the same effect as chmod 700 reminder.sh. But just to demonstrate, let's try to use that pattern with slightly altered permission. Let's just get it back to read and write permission. So chmod give the user or the owner read write permission to this file. Press enter and then ls-la. Now it doesn't have any execution permission, showing that this command really works. Try to execute it. And again, permission denied. Now, so we're done with the first pattern. How about these remaining two patterns? Okay, let's try to use the remaining two patterns. Let's make another folder here. Let's just say, let's create another folder here named bin2 inside of the bin folder. Okay, ls-la. Here it is. Now that we have bin2, let's copy all these three files inside bin2. To do that, cp and then We can do this one by one. We can do it that way. Okay, but there's another way. We can look for something common about these three files. The way I see it, this is what's common with them. .sh. This pattern is common to all three of them. And these are the things that are not common. So, for the things that are not common, we can substitute a wildcard for it. And then, append what is common. Okay? cp space asterisk, a substitution for all that is not common for the file names. And then let's append what is not common, what is common to all of them. Okay? And then space, and then the directory, the path to where we will copy these three files. So let's press enter. Now let's go to the bin2 folder and let's check if we have copies there. As expected, this command was successful. Now we're ready to demonstrate this second command. For example, if we have a lot of files here and we wanted to make all their permissions common, for let's say we will change all of this to 700, we can use this second pattern this way, chmod, and then for a change, let's make it 770, and then asterisk. Asterisk is a substitution for everything, meaning it will change the permission to 770 of all the files inside this directory. But if we will make an exemption, for example, if this bin2 directory contains thousands of files and we only want to change the permission of those files with something common in them, like this pattern, we can try it this way, meaning all files that end up with .sh will have their permissions changed to 770. So with this or with only asterisk, it will work. But let's try this one. Now let's check. And as expected, the owner have 7 or read-write execute permissions. The group also has read, write, and execute permission, while 0 for others. Now we're done with the second demonstration. What about the third one? The third one has this -r with it, which means recursive. For example, the use case for this is, let's clear the screen. For example, we have a folder with files and folders inside it, and we want to make the permission common to this folder and all others contained inside this folder. We can use this pattern to do that. Let's say we want this folder to have 700 permission together with the contents, whether it be directory or files, also to have permission that is 700. We can use this pattern to do that. So let's try. For now, if we're going to translate this permission, it is 7, 7, and then 5. And a while ago, the contents of this folder was 770. So let's make it uniform. Let's make it 700. 700 for this folder and 700 for all the contents of bin 2. By the way, letter D stands for directory, meaning it recognizes bin 2 as a directory. Okay, now let's try the third pattern. So let's change the permission recursively to 700. So this should become 700 and then without all of this. Together with the contents of this, it should be 700 also, which a while ago we changed to 770. So let's try if this will work. Okay, with bin 2, it did really work. RWX. What about the contents? As expected, it's also 700. 700 for Bill, the owner, and for the group, it's all 0. For others, it's all 0. So the difference between this and this is that with -R, it will go deep inside the folder and turn the permissions to something that is common to the parent folder. While this one, these two will only have an effect on the current layer or the current directory. Okay, I hope that was clear. And I think we're done with the chmod demonstration. Now let's move to the chown command. Chown command is used to change ownership of files and directories. Here, I have provided 3 patterns again, which I normally use at work, and with it, an example to demonstrate how I use these 3. Now let's clear the screen of our terminal. Now let's go to the bin folder of Bill. Let's just move one directory down. There we are. Now for number 2, let's change the owner of reminder.sh using the first pattern. So we're going to change this to ban while the group remains Bill. But first, let's try to change the permission to 700 again. Let's try again to execute it. So with this, it can be executed by Bill, the owner. Now let's change the owner from Bill to ban using the chown command. Chown ban Bill reminders.sh. Let's try if this will work. No, didn't work. A while ago, we gave Bill the permission to use sudo command for chown. So now let's try to change it. Now we were able to change it to ban Bill. So let's try to execute the script. Okay, permission denied. Why is that so? Because the current owner of the file is ban, and only ban can read, write, and execute the file, while Bill, the group owner, was not given any permissions to do so. So let's clear the screen. Let's again analyze the permissions. So for Bill to execute this script once again, he needs at least a read and execute permission to be able to run the script. Let's try it. So let's try chmod 750. Not permitted. But since we gave Bill the permission to use sudo for this command, as demonstrated earlier, let's try to use sudo. And it was successful. Now, ban has 7, and then Bill, the group owner, has 5, and then others have 0. So let's try if Bill can execute this now. And there it is. Bill was able to execute the file. How about the user someone? The user that we created that will represent others. Will he able to execute this file now? Because he's not the owner and he's not a part of Bill group, so presumably he is part of others. So let's try to log into someone's account. Now let's try to execute reminder.sh using someone's account. No, permission denied. Simply because in the file, others group was not given any permission to execute it. So to do that, first let's exit from someone. Let's clear the screen. And then let's analyze the permission once again. Let's try to give it another 5 here, so that someone can read it and execute it. So chmod 755 reminder.sh, operation not permitted. So we need to use the sudo, since a while ago earlier we gave Bill the permission to use sudo for the command chmod, and it allowed Bill to do that. Now reminder.sh have 755 permission, 7 for ban, 5 for Bill, and then another 5 for others, which includes someone. Let's try to log into someone's account. Now we're inside someone's account. Let's try to execute this file. And as expected, someone was able to execute reminder.sh. So now we're done with the first one. How about these 2 remaining patterns? So let's try to demonstrate how these 2 patterns work. Let's exit from this. Let's exit from this, clear the screen, and then let's try to analyze our owners and permissions. For the second pattern, for all these files, for these 3 files, let's try to change the owner to ban. Let's make them all common. So let's type chown ban colon, and then let's make it Bill as the group owner, and then type asterisk. If we're going to leave this to asterisk, all files and folders within bin for this layer will have the owner as ban and the group owner as Bill. So that will include this one. So this will also change to ban, it will remain ban, and then this will change to ban. But if we will just in practice, if we want to isolate some common files, for example, all files with ending with .sh, to have this profile, the owner to be ban and the group to be Bill, we can do it this way. We can substitute the asterisk for all that are not common, and then let's append what is common. Or we can also do it this way. Although if you have a lot of files in here, this would be tedious. You can also do it this way. It will still have the same effect. Let's try it first. Nope, because we don't have the sudo command yet. Okay, there it is, same effect. But I wanted to demonstrate if the asterisk will work, so let's put it back. Okay, now let's try the second pattern. Oops, I forgot to change this to ban. So let's try this one, if it will work. As expected, it changed the owner to ban for all that have .sh common to them, for files that have file names ending with .sh. Okay, now we're done with the second pattern. How about the third pattern? Let's clear the screen. Once again, let's analyze our permissions and ownerships. I think we can try this to bin2 folder. So using chown -r or -r, which means recursively, if we're going to use it on bin2, it will change the owner of this directory together with any files and directories inside it. So let's try to check what's inside bin2. Forget .sh, reminder, just copies of the original files. These three files are contained inside bin2. Let's try to change, let's say, the owner and the group of this folder together with what's inside it. Meaning, if we're going to change the owner and the group for bin2, we want the effect to go beyond it, inside it. In effect, to change all the owner and the group of all these three files inside bin2. So let's try it. Let's go back one folder up, and then let's use this line of command, sudo chown -r, and then let's try to change it to owner ban and group ban. I'm expecting that this command will recursively change the owner and the group of this directory together with what's inside of them, together with the owner and group ownership of the files and folders inside it. So let's try it. ls minus la. As expected, it changed both. Now let's try to get inside it. bin2. But permission denied because only ban have the permission to go inside it. So for us to go inside it, let's change either of the two, or let's change the owner for now. Sudo chown and then del ban and then bin2. Now that the user or user bill have the permission to go inside bin2, let's try to go inside and inspect if indeed the owner and the group of the files have changed. And there they are. So now we're done with pattern number 3. Hope you find all of this useful, and thank you for watching.